So there's been this trend or tag video going around YouTube where people were going through their collection and talking about their black bottles. And no one actually tagged me. Mike from I Smell, go check out his channel. He told me if I was interested in doing it to do it. So he didn't officially tag me or anything. So I'm just going to go through. I know last year, because I'm a Steelers fan, I did my favorite black and gold bottles. But today I'm going to be just doing a list of my favorite black designer fragrances in my collection. And so without further ado, let's get it. Welcome back, my great smelling dudes, to my channel. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. You guys all know that. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe, follow, hit the bell, all that good stuff. So we can get straight into this. Again, there's a tag video floating around the fragrance community where people were just mentioning their top 5 designer black bottles in their collection. There's a lot of different black bottles, surprisingly, in my collection that I went through, and I was like, wow, I have a lot to choose from. I had some black and gold ones, black and blue ones, and then a lot of them that had the name black in the name. So I decided that, hey, even though I wasn't tagged officially, Mike from I Smell told me, hey, if you want to jump on this, go ahead, do it. And last year I did a black and gold bottle edition for the Steelers, in which I just gave you a lot of the fragrances in my collection that were black and gold. And today I'm just going to be giving you my black bottles. A lot of these are going to be black with some color in it. I do have 3 that are just jet black. But starting out with the first one, I felt like it was only proper to start out with one that had the name black in it. And you guys probably know where I'm going. By Prada, this is Prada Luna Rossa Black. So Prada Luna Rossa Black is actually going to be in one of my upcoming videos of fragrances that I disliked when I first tried them. And this one is going to be your amber, musky, tonka, slightly fresh opening. That's pretty much what you get from this. So when you first spray it on, you do get that amber and musk mixed in there with a little bit of this bergamot. The bergamot comes through, gives you a blast of freshness that is almost like a nice mixture of light and dark that is really actually quite nice. And again, I didn't quite appreciate it. My wife has always loved this fragrance. It's more of a night out fragrance, one you can wear all year round, as long as you in the summer do the sprays a little bit less. I think that you could wear it in the summer. I have. And so again, for about 8 to 10 months, this and Luna Rossa Ocean I did not like. I tried, I just couldn't get around to it. And so my first black bottle is Prada Luna Rossa Black. And when you get a little bit further into the fragrance, that is where it really just becomes more of your amber, musky, a little bit sweet from the tonka bean that comes in there. I believe you get a little bit of angelica that gives like a little bit of an herbally feel in the background. And you do get a slight bit of spice. Outside of that, it's really just I've always called it a kind of just very easy to explain fragrance. If you want something that is ambery and musky, that has a little bit of a sweetness and a fresh opening from the bergamot, then that's what you're going to get with Prada Luna Rossa Black. It is nothing that's breaking the bank, but it is, for what it does, it's very, very good, and it's very mass appealing. That is Prada Luna Rossa Black, and it's all fingerprinted up. I always mention that in my videos when it's fingerprinted up. The next one is one that I actually just received in. I didn't give it that high of remarks. I said it was an above average fragrance. It just came in about a week or 2 ago. I did my full review and first impression. This is by Paco Rabanne. It is Invictus Victory Elixir. And while this does look like a full black bottle, it is not. It is black, and this entire bottom is blue. You just can't see it unless it's in the light. If you want to see what the blue looks like, look, go through my community tab. I do have pictures of it with the blue. So this one is getting better and better on me as I wear it. And I do have to say, I don't leave the house much because I'm either working here or I'm flying to like Chicago or something and I'm working out of a hotel room. And for the most part, I don't leave the house much. And the only people who compliment me are my wife, my daughter, my family, whoever. But I wore this to USPS the other day to drop off a package for one of my subscribers. And on the way in the door, a guy asked me what I was wearing, and on the way out the door, somebody said, "You smell great, what are you wearing?" And I had to explain to them, this isn't even out yet, all of that. It should be out in the coming weeks. So this is a compliment getter. I mean, some people would call it a boxer dropper. But with that said, My wife does like it, and so women do like this as well. I just know that guys like this a lot. It is a sweet fragrance. It is a sweet, heavy fragrance. So this, as an elixir, it is a very bold and polarizing sweet fragrance. If you like your vanillas, your tonka bean, really heavy mixture, it also has this almost coconutty vibe that you would get in something like Le Beau Le Parfum, or the original Le Beau. You get that, and then you also get this dense sweetness that you would get in something like Scandale Le Parfum. Mentioning all the Jean-Paul Gaultiers here, this is a Paco Rabanne. So I said it has a feeling of like 1 Million Elixir. If you did add in that coconutty vibe, you do get a little bit of a spiciness, and it doesn't seem as mature of a vanilla as what you get in the original 1 Million. I know some people called this the more mature of the two. I disagree. I think that this is the sweeter, less mature of the two, but you could wear either and pretty much be in the same situation. I would probably say like 18 to 45 would be a great wear for this fragrance. It's going to push out 10 hours plus. I don't think I need to talk about the exact hours. If you spray it on clothes, it'll be on your skin for days, or on your clothes for days. So again, it's vanilla, tonka. There's a lot of sweetness in there. There's a little bit of a spicy aromatic tone. There's also a libidum that is coming in. You definitely feel that in the fragrance. But overall, that's not really much else to write home about. It's just a dense, super sweet, designer, mass appealing fragrance that's going to last on your skin for hours. This is Invictus Victory Elixir. So that is my second black bottle. Going into the third, this one came out last year as well. I wanted to keep most of these to being in the last year or two. So this one, I didn't appreciate it that much when I first got it. I said it was good, like an above average, just kind of like Invictus Victory Elixir, but this one did get way better the more I wore it. This is by EMPORIO Armani. It is Stronger With You Oud. I really love this bottle. It is in the front of my collection. I think that all the bottles of this line look sick, especially the new amber one that's coming out. That really, really looks tight. So Stronger With You Oud is kind of what you would expect. Stronger With You, the EMPORIO Armani line, they don't really venture too far from the line in any of the fragrances that they have. They just add a little bit of this and a little bit of that. In this fragrance, it's kind of like if you took Stronger With You Intensely, that really strong sweetness, that vanilla, take out the nuttiness. There might be a little bit of that chestnut in here. If so, it's very dialed down. And then in the opening, put a lot of dense woods. It's not animalic or fecal or anything like you would expect because it is designer oud. And then it comes over as just a dense woods that really just sets this one apart from a lot of the other ones in the line. To me, this is the second best in the line, right behind Absolutely, because again, you get that dense woods, you get that sweetness in the background, and as you work your way about 45 minutes to an hour into this fragrance, it just turns more into a better blended, less cloyingly sweet version of Stronger With You Intensely. So you do get that vanilla, that amber. You also do get some lavender, a little bit more of a heavier lavender, which evens out this fragrance more than what I got with Intensely, which gives me a headache. And then again, you get those woody tones that just dial themselves down into the background when you get to the dry down. They never truly leave. But again, right when you spray it on, it's super woody with a sweetness undertone, and then they kind of just swap places. This lasts, again, 8 to 10 hours. I wouldn't say that you need any more than that for this type of fragrance. It is more of a fall and winter fragrance for sure, and it's just going to be super mass appealing. It's not going to be as mass appealing as the first two I've mentioned because of that woodiness, but when you get to the dry down, that is where it's really going to shine as far as the mass appeal. So it's like a best of both worlds. You get the mass appeal, and you also do get that personal enjoyment, niche style woods in the opening, in my opinion. So that's Stronger With You Oud, my third black bottle. Going into the fourth, another new release as of last year. This is more in the indie community. Even though they don't really focus just on fragrances, they are more of a skincare line that released a fragrance. And I told you, there is no cap behind this fragrance at all. People keep saying that because they sent people bottles, this is fake reviews, all that stuff. It's not. It's a really nice, unisex-leaning masculine freshie by Blue Atlas. This is Atlantis. And it also has a sick-ass bottle that has a really nice clip-on cap, or magnetic cap, clip-on cap. And then one of the best controlled atomizers that I have in my collection, no joke. So again, this is advertised under the men's skincare line as a men's fragrance, but my wife did wear this. This is a unisex leaning masculine fragrance for sure. So the main notes that you get in this one are apricot. You also do get some peach in there, some aromatics mixed in with a little bit of this woodiness undertoning, some like citrus medley in the opening. But for the most part, you want to be focusing on the apricot and the peach and the aromatics that are undertoning it. So it almost has a watery feel underneath as well. But the fruitiness to this really reminds me of the unique style of fruitiness that you get in Lacoste L'Homme Intense with that rhubarb. Because this one, you don't see apricot used in a lot of designer or indie style fragrances that much. The apricot in this one is the main note. It doesn't come off like you would think apricots or plums or some figs or something like that as an older person style scent. But no, this one tends to lean a little bit youthful as well. I would say probably you could get away with this from like 18 again to 45. And Blue Atlas Atlantis, for a freshie, it lasts 8 hours. It is going to project above average. It's going to have you have about 4-foot sillage going around for a couple hours until it does get down to more of a personal bubble. And again, once you get to the dry down, that peach and the bergamot and the lemon and the citrus medley, I called it, it really does just put itself in the background as the apricot is still there, lending itself with some aromatics and woods. Really nice. And then it is a fragrance that is surrounded by musk after about an hour and a half. Really nice, great in the warm weather. I would think this is probably the best in the spring and the summer, so you could wear it probably all year round. I would stay away from it if you're living really cold temperatures during the winter, but it'd be really nice. So again, unisex leaning masculine, Blue Atlas Atlantis. It is a full black bottle and it is fantastic. Right now it runs $100, but they do sales where it's like $85, so it's definitely worth a pickup. Mark my words, if you get it and you like the unisex leaning masculine freshies, you will like that fragrance. Going into the last one, I had to put this in here because it is my favorite designer fragrance. Where am I going with this? Who knows? Azzaro's The Most Wanted. And I'll call it the Eau de Parfum Intense, but it's just the most wanted. So, toffee, cardamom, amberwood. Yes, they do 3-note breakdowns, but honestly with Azzaro, those are the only ones you really need to focus on, because when you first spray this on, you get that sweetness from the toffee, that gourmand facet mixed with a fresh spiciness from the cardamom, which really lends itself to being a fresh gourmand, where you can wear it all year round. You can wear it spring, summer, fall, winter. It does work better in the fall and winter, but with that said, now that you have the Parfum version, I like to wear that more in the fall and winter, and this one is a great date night scent during the spring and summer. Fall and winter, it's an all-day scent, and it is fantastic. You get some amberwood coming in there to really provide this slightly dense woods that provides even more of that sweetness. Amberwood works really well in gourmand fragrances, and I found it really works well with toffee. And so when you mix that together and then you put that into this fragrance, you have almost like a caramel brulee latte or something like that. I mean, it doesn't have coffee or anything. I'm just saying the type of smell. It's fantastic. It's gourmand, and you guys know I love it. So that is The Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. My favorite designer fragrance to wear. I've always said that. I'll always maintain that. I think it's fantastic. So let me know in the comments below what your favorite black bottles in your collection are. I know this is kind of weird. We're talking about colors, not fragrances, but the fragrances are the black bottles, so sometimes the presentation are what drives people to buy them. So let me know in the comments, and again, I'll be back with another one. Thanks so much. Peace.